Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Circle Debate podcast. We're doing our top 5 picks for this week. As we mentioned last week, we're doing Cinco 555. This week we're doing the top 5 picks for the week, which is we're discussing about the best episodes of Dark Side of the Ring. Obviously, once again, I'm Ivan C, the Devious One, your host one. We also have our guest host, obviously, Mr. American Hero. And also we have Mr. Josh Horton, Reputation Killer. And obviously our special guest, obviously, which is the mess of all messes, Mr. What a Mess, Robert Estrada. And we have the decoy, the victory, Mr. Victory Man, Leo Estrada. They're going to join us this top 5 picks for the week, so we're hoping they come along more often in this weekly podcast. So we're going to go ahead and start off. We're going to ask our guests first their top 5 episodes from season 1 and 2 of Dark Side of the Ring. So I'm going to go ahead with Mr. Decoy, since he's wearing the Corny shirt. Corny, if you watch this video, you'll love this guy. And we're all big fan of you as well. We disagree a lot of shit what you say, but I understand why you say it. But so let me go ahead and start off with you, Mr. Decoy. Are you going to start grading off from top to bottom to top, your top 5 episodes?
We're going to do the top 5. I'm going to start with my favorite first.
Alrighty. Start it off.
In my opinion, the New Jack episode. It was, for the Dark Side of the Ring, that was for some reason the lightest episode. Like, it was I don't know. I was fucking laughing and dying the whole time. It was just great. I don't know if anybody else felt that way, but maybe it was really totally dark and I got a morbid sense of humor. But the New Jack episode, just everything it tickled me. It was such a great episode. And, just everything that happened, him beating up that 70-year-old man. Holy cow.
Wow, what the fuck? Wow, dog, that was insane.
Not even laughing, but cackling, because it was just
stabbing that fool, out in the open.
But also very, very terrible that stuff happened.
Oh.
But
nonetheless, man,
For me, it was some hood shit, honestly. That was straight hood New Jack for me, but I'll give you that one, man. That's a good pick. That's a really good pick because, New Jack was straight out hood from the East Coast.
I think different people took it different ways.
Of course. If it did, you're a moron. Yeah. You're watching this, I'm sorry, but you're a moron. It's really hood shit. And plus, she forgot it was funny as fuck. And then, especially then when you have the 18-year-old, which he wasn't, got his ass whooped. So, that's something that
he did it to himself.
He did it to himself, and he tried to sue New Jack. You're stupid. You're a moron to it. And the other guy that got stabbed, and then you want to give it to him, let's sell this shit. Let's go, come on. You just fuck yourself over. But continue. My apologies. Go ahead.
So that's number 1. If we're going with number 2, I was debating on which one meant more to me or which one I liked better. But for number 2, I think again I like the lightheartedness of it, and it might have been dark, but the Herb Abrams one. That I laughed the entire time. It was a great story. It reminded me about myself. They were like, he's 5 foot, naked, running covered in Vaseline and cocaine.
Running from the cops.
Who hasn't been there?
That's
not
a Tuesday night.
Or Vaseline, yeah. It's a Tuesday night.
And you honestly haven't been to my house during quarantine.
And
I haven't, so I don't want to know.
The thing is you begin to see yourselves in these characters, and it really hit me when he said, he died doing what he loved, cocaine and whores. I felt that.
Yeah. Okay, this guy doing what he loves.
Cocaine, one hell of a drug,
okay.
man.
Yeah.
One hell of a drug, bro.
Yo, you know that guy. Yo, lived the dream right there, bro.
I love you, number 2.
He didn't give a fuck neither, dude. Like he was like, yo, he's like, yeah, 200 people at the garden, and he's fucking in Vegas. He's like, yeah, I had an MGM. He was like, yo, like he was like, there's only 200 people there. He's like, yeah, but I had the MGM. What's up? Like,
And he said, check. And what about my cowboy boots, though, man?
yo, like this dude was in another world. Like, yo, like, and he was like, yo, success. Like that dude was crazy, dude. But yo, I'm envious of that dude.
Oh man,
That dude lived that life, dude. Man, that's crazy.
It really tugs at your heartstrings, you know.
I think
I see somebody say he reminded them of a GTA character, and I can totally fucking see that. I can see it.
Yes,
I can see
like,
it.
where is this movie at? You know, like why is this not done yet? Because that would be a trip. Because that dude was like right before he died. They have a video of him like he was. Oh, he looked like he was on the up and up. He had gotten clean. He was like, you think, oh, he looks fine. And then the same night, disappeared. And that fool just wilded out. And that was it, dude.
All right,
man, that guy's crazy.
That's your number 2. So what's your number 3?
Number 3, I guess it would be the Owen Hart episode, just because it was really good to finally see some light shed on everything, especially from Martha's point of view.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously not as lighthearted as the other 2,
Right.
but I mean, it really like spoke to like his character. You hear that thing that he said was the last thing when he was falling was "look out."
Yeah.
You know, that shit
That's crazy, man.
was, yeah, that was nuts. And you know, like we talked about in the episode, you know, previous, you know, about like, you know, people being heroes and shit, like this whole Shad Gasper thing, you know. Like
Right.
the last thing these guys thought about was saving somebody else after they knew they were already doomed, you know?
Absolutely.
And that's fucking nuts, you know? But I mean, them, you know? So that's number 3.
All right. What's number 2?
Wait, I'm going
No,
forward.
you're
so we're
4.
number 4, I think.
Oh shit, number 4. Right, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. No,
What's number 4? My apologies. Yeah.
You're drunk.
Number 4.
I am getting there. Well, I can't say that word because I don't want to get sued. But yeah, you know what I'm saying. Go ahead.
I think number 4 for me would be the Brawl for All. Just because that I lived through that kind of. I don't remember what year was that? 90 what?
99.
99. Okay, so that makes me like 11 or 10.
Mm-hmm.
So like I remember seeing that as a kid and I'm like, what the fuck is happening? I thought it was the sloppiest, like dumbest, you know, it didn't make sense to me when I was a kid, but now looking at it, I'm like, what the hell was happening? You know, like, but again, the Brawl for All, that, like, I mean, it's just seeing what they all did and like actually like seeing the, you know, knowing the history now and then of everybody, it changed everything, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. For me.
Drum roll.
All right.
Number 5 is obviously the Benoit.
Obviously.
Obviously.
Mm-hmm.
I know it was really dark for me, but I made the joke. I was like, you know, do you pick the first part or the second part? Well, I really like the second part when he killed everybody. No, I'm sorry. That was really dark. But
no, man.
Oh, man.
You can watch the first part, but yo, the second part
no,
gets
the
good.
second part was dope. No, I mean just to like really see, just to really see what things were like before like the social media thing,
Or
you know, because the information didn't flow as quickly back then. So like to see what they went through, you know, about like, oh, they did the whole memorial episode and they didn't know what the fuck happened, you know, hours later. If this would have happened today, like we would have already known and like shit would have been, he would have already been erased, you know, before, you know, the show even started.
That's what amazes me about the Owen Hart thing is how were they allowed to continue when that dude was there? Like the cops should have stopped the whole thing from like proceeding. Like that's a homicide.
Yeah.
Like, how did that
blood was still
Yeah.
on the net.
how did they not? You know, like Vince has gotten away with so much.
Oh yeah, we'll get into that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, definitely. So all right, hey, I love your top 5. Very interesting. I will really get into. I just want to hear everybody else before I get into myself. because I would like to hear everybody else's. So I want to go ahead and actually start off with you, Mr. What a Mess. What is how are you going to grade them? Top to 5, bottom to top, how are you going to do it?
Sorry, at the top. Mine will also be the New Jack episode for number 1. And that's because that was ECW was my era. Mm-hmm. I lived through that guy's whole career, like how crazy it was. I mean, we were at the ECW in LA, right? Like when they were out here for that pay-per-view, and it was nuts. And when that riot broke out, I was right there next to New Jack. Like, so when watching that episode brought back memories.
Damn, that's awesome.
That was cool. It was hype.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
And it was unbelievable. That guy was outrageous. The second one will be out of the Montreal Screwjob. Because again, I was like watching that when it was going down was crazy because you didn't know what was real, what was going on. It was something that had never happened before. Like the Lions were being that fourth wall was coming down, and you didn't know what was actually transpiring. You didn't know who was jumping ship and how much of it was a work. It was cool. It was crazy. Like you were really paying attention at the time. So that was the second one. The third one, we'll have to do the Benoit one. The fourth one would have to be Owen. No, I should take that back. Oh, it would have to be Owen, then the Benoit.
Okay.
And then top it all off with the Abrams.
Okay.
Yeah, that one was crazy, but that one should be a movie.
It should be.
Yeah.
That one's outrageous.
Yeah.
What? Like here's so much shit that was going on. Like what? Like how was this happening? Like and nobody was like I never heard of it. Like nobody talked about this. Like I remember UWF. Like remember vaguely. Like remember the but.
No, I'm with you on that because see I remember UWF. But I don't remember who was the owner because
man, I
thought Abrams was like a regular announcer being a psychotic one. But I didn't know that he actually run the show.
They should run with that whole he faked his death. I like that.
Oh yeah.
Somebody should buy the rights to that movie, dude.
Oh, definitely. I agree with you on that one. That would be a great wrestling movie, to be honest.
Yeah.
Mr. Hero, I want to hear yours. I'm curious.
I'm going to start from 5 and I'm going to go to 1.
All right.
Let's see.
Go.
So at number 5, I have the Montreal Screwjob. There's what hasn't been said already about it. It's a topic that I've always found interesting, especially with everything that happened after it and what it led to. Not just in WWF, but in WCW and the world of wrestling as a whole. Right. So, moment. Number 4, I have David Schultz and the slap heard around the world. It's a YouTube clip that I still watch to this day. I found him to be very interesting. The contrast between him and Hogan, how their lives ended up, turning out. I found that to be interesting and how he basically was screwed, from this one action that happened. And, that reporter, when they asked him like, oh, if you have one thing to say to him, he said, what was it? Fuck you or something like that? Or,
something like that.
Something like that. And I'm like, really? You got money out of this, just let it go, or, And
he did after he got the money. He let it go right after. What pissed me off about that is that piece of shit decided to fucking, and also that jobber, by the way, which Leo showed him the shirt of what Mr. Corny said on his episode. He said it. That piece of shit pretty much did cause, he exposed the business. He exposed the kayfabe of what professional wrestling was back in that era. It was bound to happen anyways. So, that's given. But the thing about that is that this piece of shit, this jobber that was supposed to be known and didn't get what he wanted to get, and then this reporter decided to report on it, you saw everybody kept it quiet. And you guys can disagree with me or not. Everybody kept it quiet when it comes to that. What Schultz did was right to protect the business. and that's what he did. And I don't disagree with what he did.
That's why I like that whole was it Hector Guerrero when he was
Yes.
training after the
Yeah.
Little Girls.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is fake, and he put her in the headlock and he put her to
Yep.
sleep.
Yep.
Like, yo, they
Same-
don't think
same.
about it. Like, yo.
Yeah, I'm with you with that, Mike. Like I love, and I'm with you as well, Rob. I love that because it's true. It's like you're exposing that business, or you're trying to expose that business, and what that jobber did, which I don't give a shit about his name, to be honest. Yeah, I give two rat's ass about him, but you could tell that he was selfish, and what he did was at that era was pretty much putting people's job in jeopardy. Like, we all knows it's choreographed, everything else, we all know that. Remind everybody one thing, that the fake is what everybody hates. Put yourself in the fucking ring, first of all. Put yourself in their position. Yes, everything is prediction, agreeable with that. But taking those moves, see if you're able to do it. See if you're able to do that shit. I'll guarantee you can't. I guarantee you can't. But when it comes to that piece of shit fucked up. But if it wasn't for Vince that saved his ass when he decided to go sports entertainment, called it that, saving my WrestleMania 1, he saved his ass because they wanted to kill him. They wanted to kill him. Bad. Even Jim wanted to kill him.
The performance artists.
Yeah, there you go. The performance artists. But definitely, my apologies to interrupt you, but I just wanted to just kind of input it on that. But yeah, look, you're on the money on that, and I love Dave Schultz for that. And hell, motherfucker was a bounty hunter after that. I love it.
Right.
Continue. My apologies. Continue.
Number 3 on my list is the Brawl for All. So I'm an MMA guy, and I went back and I watched Severn versus Godfather, and I saw how Severn took him down easily multiple times, and they kept putting them up and whatnot. And I remember thinking, man, if this was in the UFC, it would have been over very quickly. So I enjoyed watching how real it got and stuff, but definitely it doesn't belong in the world of wrestling. I feel I particularly enjoyed it, and it's especially seeing what they did to Bart Gunn, all that happened with Butterbean, and man, it's just it sucks for him, but
it was sad. I agree. It was sad.
It makes me want to just beat the shit out of Vince Russo.
Go ahead.
That guy's so fucking.
You mean shit stain?
Yeah, shit stain.
Shit stain.
Fuck him.
Fuck him. Fucking outlaw.
Yeah.
Fuck. But good
you fucking moron. Cornette's so right about that guy. He's trash.
Oh yeah. Definitely. But Mike, continue. My apologies.
Number 2, I have the Chris Benoit episode, and we decided on this list last week, and I had this one as my number 1 initially, but I saw what my number 1 is, but definitely it's a number 2 for me now. It was a good way to start the season. I had not heard of Dark Side of the Ring up until this episode came out, and I really liked how in depth the interviews got, and they have the dramatizations of the things that happened, and overall I feel that it was a good episode. And my number 1 is the Owen Hart episode. Man, so much that can be said about this one. I remember that the wife went to the scene of the crime, or the scene where it happened, and she took her kids up all the way up there to where their dad had his last moments,
75 feet, by the way.
Man, it was, as a kid to go through something like that, I can only imagine how it might be like. And, to see them become, college graduates and have their careers, successful careers, is definitely something that is, I give them props for. And then the family, of course, the Hart family, whoever it was that decided to side with McMahon and go against the wife. It sucks that they felt that they had to do that sort of thing. So, but that was my number one.
That's, man, I love these picks that you guys are bringing upon. Mr. Killer, I want to hear yours. What do you got for us? Greatest. Top to bottom, bottom to top.
Oh, it's always saving the best for last. The best for last.
I got a lot to say. That's why I'm gonna save myself best for last. I apologize. I know we all think alike. All of us, first of all, great minds like all of us five think alike. So nobody's better than anybody. First of all, just to get that clarified.
I mean, some could say I was first.
Yeah. Yeah,
if you ain't first, you're last.
Speak for yourself, man. Like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Hey, you know what? It's okay. I ain't mad.
Hey, but I will say, like, this shit's called Dark Side of the fucking Ring. Dark Side of the Ring. I don't see how any of y'all could have picked Brawl for All. I really don't. It's a great episode, but Dark Side of the Ring, I don't think they should have focused on that. But, yeah, so I'm going to get to my number 5, It's circle of the... It's debate. It's debate for a reason,
That's right.
Number 5, Dark Side of the Ring, the mysterious death of Gino Hernandez. And right here we see it was great to see his family involved in this episode. His mom finally getting closure to her son's death. She thought he was murdered after all these fucking years. And then that guy, what was he, in prison or something? And he comes out.
Yeah, he was in prison.
Yeah, and he's all anonymous and all. And he's like, like the mother doesn't have to worry. Gino, he OD'd on drugs. I know that for a fact. But yeah, that guy kind of reminded me of like Ric Flair, like a young Ric Flair. Like, who knows how great he could have been? Like Owen, who knows how great Gino Hernandez could have been?
And you know what? On that one, my apologies, stop you. I agree with you on that, because Gino Hernandez was like another Ric Flair style, because the way how his performance was, and then with Chris Adams as well, great performance, especially in WCW, like in Houston as well. Was just same promotion. They did very well with that, and Gino would have been a hell of a Ric Flair style. Imagine him and Ric Flair not as a tag, but as a faction. He is the original Randy Orton right there for you at Evolution.
Right.
Right there is your original Randy Orton Revolution, because that motherfucker had talent. The ring was obviously, that's a different era, but his mic skills and his looks sold it. Bottom line. Continue, my apologies.
Yeah. And right before his death, he told a lot of people that somebody was trying to kill him. He even saw somebody in the back of his fucking car, is what he told one of his friends, that they ran away. But nobody believed him. He got involved with the mob, man. So maybe he did get murdered. Maybe it's all bullshit what that guy said that was in prison. Who the fuck knows? But they said so much coke was in the guy's system that could OD a fucking elephant or some shit. I don't fucking know. I really don't know what's up with that. But for his funeral, some guy shows up that nobody knew and says to his mama, he owed me a lot of money, but don't you worry, I'll take care of his funeral. To me, that's kind of suspicious too.
Yeah, it has a really big question mark, to be honest, in that one.
Yeah,
it really does, and it's hard. That one's a really tough one to to even like try to even to assume shit because it's a mystery that none of us will know.
And
But go
also,
ahead.
it said on his autopsy that he was obese and that he was uncircumcised, and everybody not even said that he wasn't. And it also said, yeah, also said that he was damn.
He's supposed to be uncircumcised, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. Well, I mean, we're talking about his penis, though. But
They also said that he was a different race than he was.
Was that integral to the plot?
I don't know, man, but it's fucking crazy. Yeah. Basically, like
That's the whole story.
it's the whole story. Yeah, who the fuck killed him? Who the fuck killed him? And
pretty much.
Where's his
did he get
foreskin?
killed or did he get shot? I don't know, man. I don't know. This
All
Gino
right.
Hernandez shit. That's number 5. That's number 5.
All right, number 4.
Number 4 for me is the Von Erichs, man, because I can relate to this fucking family with this fucking curse. Not many people know, but I lost my grandpa, my mom, 2 aunts, 2 family friends, all in 13 months. And then my dad, like a couple years later. So it's like a family curse for me too. These guys, man, damn, this whole family been through a lot of shit. Kevin Von Erich, he had a quote. He said, "I've always been the oldest brother, and now I'm not even a brother." And to me, man, that really hit. That really hit hard. It all started with the oldest brother, I think it was, Jack Jr., who got electrocuted, or the youngest brother, whatever he was. He got electrocuted at 6 years old, and then he drowned right after that. And then David Von Erich died in a hotel in Japan of gastritis or whatever the fuck it was.
The gastritis.
Yeah. And then Kerry Von Erich wins the NWA title from Ric Flair right after the death of David. And they done that basically, to do a tribute to David.
Yeah.
And then right after that, they took the title off of him. And then Mike Von Erich, I believe he shot himself.
They did.
And then Kerry, he has an accident on a motorcycle and has part of his foot fucked up. And I think it was maybe amputated or something.
No, it was amputated. The thing is that when that happened, when he got his foot amputated, then when he signed with WWE, back in those times WWF, when he signed with them, they don't check on that shit. This was back on like the Roy type of shit. Like they didn't give a shit back in those times, like early '83s and '90s. They didn't give a shit about it. So throughout this whole time, Mr. Tornado was wrestling with pretty much one leg. He only amputated his ankle close up to his knee, but he was wrestling with one foot. But he performed. Which, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, research that on YouTube. Look up Texas Tornado. His matches were not bad.
He also got a Continental title run, didn't he?
Yes, he did. They gave him the IC title run.
Yeah, it's like, and then he goes out. I believe he got his dad's gun or whatever, and he goes and shoots his house. You know? So it's like, I don't know, man. I just feel connected. Like, I feel what this family feels, man, because I've been through a lot of it. I've lost, like, fucking 20, 30 people in my family. I've lost 2 cousins this year.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
It's like a fucking curse. But number 3 for me is definitely the New Jack. New Jack. The life and crimes of New Jack. Had to go with New Jack. I love New Jack. He's actually from Greensboro, North Carolina.
Right.
Yeah. And he's friends with a guy named Chris Hamrick that used to wrestle in ECW that lives right down the road from my grandma's house. So
Really?
yes. And New Jack's been down there. I just haven't gotten a chance to be down there while he was down there, but who knows? Maybe I'll meet up with him one day down there.
Hopefully you do, brother. Hopefully you do.
Yeah. And New Jack, you know, he started out working with Smoky Mountain. Cornette gave him the start. Like homeboy right there got the shirt on. Cornette is the one that gave New Jack the start. And then we know that New Jack goes on a lot of shit that he done. He should have went to prison for. he really should have went to prison for. He carved mass transit up like a fucking jack-o'-lantern. He fucked the kid up. But a lot of people want to blame New Jack for that. You can't just blame New Jack. You gotta blame that kid too, because the kid got himself into that situation.
He did, because he fucking lied that he was overage, and he wasn't.
Yeah, he lied. He lied.
He fucking lied.
And then there's that Tiny the Terrible guy on the fucking episode.
Hey, bro, I wanted to say that right away when you brought that up. And Rob, you have Leo, Mike. I don't know if you saw that. He did get his promise, by the way. You know how he said, "Oh, well, if you do this shit for me, then I'll put you in WWE." He did. He got it. He showed up.
I think New Jack's really a man of his word and a good guy.
He is.
I really do. I think he's a good guy. A good guy if you don't piss him off.
I think
no.
Yeah, he's fucking crazy.
Cocaine's one hell of a drug.
That dude's
I believe I can hang out with him, man. My uncle,
I can hang out with him.
My uncle stabbed a dude 9 times in the head.
But I won't wrestle him.
So I know how to deal with it.
At some point in the
I would never challenge him in wrestling. Hell no.
Oh, hell no. How he wasn't blackballed from the industry, I don't have a fucking clue.
No, it makes sense why he got blackballed, because
I'm talking about at first he didn't though.
No. Remind you where he came from. Smoky Mountain Wrestling. Jim Cornette admitted it. And this is not from Dark Side of the Ring, first of all. Jim Cornette did admit it. Prior to that he had other interviews off the subject of that. He literally helped New Jack to build this character. He said, fuck it, use the race fucking shit. Use it.
Yeah.
Go with it.
That's how he got the heel heat.
Take that O.J. Simpson situation that happened in the 90s and go with that motherfucker. That's why Corny is a smart man in the business when it comes to that. He knows when it comes to how to build a heel and a baby face. And that's why I credit him to the world when it comes to that. I get it, why he stuck to that old times. But we're in a new era, Corny. It's different. It's different. I know why you hate. You hate Livier. You hate Livier. You hate, you hate everybody else.
Jelly Janela?
Yeah, Jenny Nutella.
Yeah, Jelly Nutella.
Well, you hate everybody else, but that's what makes sense.
With New Jack, I got to mention about him getting his revenge on Vic Grimes and just fucking tasing that motherfucker up at the top of the scaffold, like, and then it's like Vic Grimes is like, I can't feel my legs, Jack, and Jack's like, you ain't gonna need them. Bombs away, motherfucker. Bombs away. I mean, and he even said in the episode that he was aiming for the floor. New Jack was gonna kill that motherfucker.
He's a great guy.
He can be. Maybe when he's not on drugs. But he was all on coke that night. Remember,
even in that interview, he was pineapple and vodka.
Yeah. New Jack. Let's see what else.
All right, so
all that shit with Gypsy Joe. That's the last time I want to touch on number 3 here. He beat the fuck out of that old man. I mean, he showed him who Batman was. He put that bat and beat the hell out of that old man. That's the time that he said he definitely went too far, and I gotta agree, man. Like, he didn't have to do all that.
Definitely.
He fucked that old man up. He really did. But yes, on to number 2?
Yep, 2.
Number two for me is the final days of Owen Hart. This was about 2 years into me just started watching wrestling, and this happens, and this is probably one of the reasons why I kept watching it, because you can see how real shit gets. Um, Youngest of 12 kids. I mean, uh, but it was great to see. I think it was Martha Hart's first interview in like 20 years about it.
Mm-hmm.
And did you see that fucking little clip? How tiny it was that was supposed to hold him,
Mm-hmm.
and they just wanted the little quick release clip just so they could fucking save a couple seconds on TV. I thought that was bullshit.
Yeah, it was. But, let's go ahead and move forward because we're almost short of time. I apologize, but we're almost short.
All right. My number one, Chris Benoit episode. What else can I say about it, man? I love Chris Benoit. I love Eddie Guerrero. It touched on both of them. I think Eddie's death affected Chris, obviously, and may both of them rest in peace. But yeah, that's my number one episode, and it's number one because it was a part two parts to it because it was so damn good.
I agree. I
Part two.
agree. I agree with that. So I'll end mine's obviously right quick. So I'll make it very quick. I'll start from bottom to top. Number 5 for me is always going to be the Bruce Brody one. Bruce Brody obviously should have been a spectacular star. We already know his resume, his background explains it all. But especially in Japan, especially against Stan Hansen, especially with anybody else in New Japan and in the States. That one is the one that they hide from. And I don't give a fuck if you see this. The Colon family, you killed them. Straight out. And you hide that shit. And you know that. You killed Brody. You knew what's up. You killed him. Bottom line. I don't need to explain anything else. The evidence is already there. But obviously, since you have the money and you want to protect yourself where you're from, it's brushed off. Very easy. I don't need to go into details. Everybody knows. Agree with me or not, gentlemen? I just want to hear yes or no.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
I agree.
It's pretty much you buried him. But if he would have been alive, he should have been in the Hall of Fame. All of them. The Lutez.
Well, didn't the guy kill him though? Like because
he killed him.
His kid drowned or something, didn't he?
No, he killed him over some bullshit. They got into argument. They killed him. That's it. They washed up with his hands. They could have saved him, but they didn't. That was it. Tony Atlas was witness. Abdullah was the one that really fucked it up on that one. He should have buried that one because he didn't want to be a part of it because he knew that he was getting paid under the table. I wouldn't be surprised. So I don't want to get into details on that because I just want to make it short as possible. And obviously number 4, Brawl for All. Yes, it was stupid. It was dumb. So all of this shit, all of this over. Do I believe corny on that? Yes, I do believe it. It's stupid. It's stupid enough for you to put that people's involved in that. And I agree with you as well, Mike, that why would you want to go ahead and try to do like a wannabe UFC, don't know the rules, don't know the points, how to count them, everything else, stupidity overall. But I was interested because they buried Bart Gunn. You promised him one thing, and then look what he did. You gave him Butterbean. Why? Why give him Butterbean? So it doesn't make any sense.
To me, like,
It doesn't.
to fucking make a joke of him. That's what they did.
It's stupidity. Very stupid of it. Yeah, and then what happened? His career went done. Over. So that was my, number 4. Number 3, the match made in heaven. Ooh, yeah. Dig it. Mr. Savage. I think for me it was a great story. I don't want to go into details. But this episode of Macho Man explained his humbleness and who he really was. He helped out his ex-wife, for God's sakes. He helped out a girl that is no longer with him. Got him in the business of WWA. You will bring Miss Elizabeth over here, get her in here to go play the same storyline. He helped her make money. Regardless that he knew that she was dating with Lex. But he did it. He was a humble man, and he proved that. That proved a lot of humbleness and loyalty of Savage. I wish his career should have been tarnished. I wish he was alive to be accepted in the Hall of Fame because he deserves it. But I get it. He wanted to respect the Poffo family because that's a dynasty that I think all of us could agree on, that you want everybody's family dynasty to live on and to be remembered. Not only just one, but all. Because you learn from where you came from and where you actually became because of where it started originally. Am I correct or wrong when I say that?
You're
right.
He smashed Stephanie.
He did. I mean, everybody said it. Gorgeous George doesn't want to say it. I mean, he did.
Hey, that's another episode maybe for season 3. They can need to touch on Miss Elizabeth.
Well, we'll find out about that one. That one is a mystery to know, but I know that on Hannibal TV, Gorgeous George kind of said, yeah, he told me everything. He was on ecstasy, boom, but she's not. She can't. She knows she does. She gets sued. That's what she won't say it. She won't say it. You know they're watching that. They're paying attention to every single shit. That's why WWE has a media team because they pay a lot of shit. They watch, but let's believe. That's why I try to avoid the same with Corey and everybody else. I try to avoid lawsuits. I don't want it because this is an independent thing we're doing. Okay, but want to make it short. My apologies. Moving forward, Benoit, of course, Benoit. Heartbreaking story. Want to cut it short? I don't give a damn what everybody says, but this is my belief. They killed him. He didn't do it.
Yeah,
Killed him. They killed him because Chavo said in an interview, and that the audio was deleted, that Benoit heard somebody at the door. Hey man, let me call you back, man. Yeah, then he comes back. Oh, yeah, all this shit happened. No. They killed him. You saw William Regal's interview about his tribute. It was, I don't want to get into details of that, but he was a sacrifice. I think he was the one who's going to give up with the bullshit and be like, fuck, this is why I don't want to join WWE. I think he was going to expose a lot of shit. And they killed him. They killed his family, and they made it seem like he did it.
I think the cops done it, bro. I think the cops done it.
Yeah, but
they was investigating.
The biggest cue out of all is who did it, and the cops.
Who did that shit?
The cops pretty much. Anybody that was involved in that disregard the case, like automatically in an instant. All they said they already. Murder-suicide. That was it. Yeah. Well, there's a murder-suicide. That was it. Like, oh, what the fuck? Where's the details?
Too much evidence against it.
What they call because it's how Bibles in each hands.
Oh, a bunch of beer around Benoit, but Benoit had no alcohol in his fucking system.
Exactly. You know? That's what doesn't make any sense. So that one is a mystery for me, and Chavo knows it. Chavo is the only one alive because he knows why.
Because he killed all of them.
Exactly.
I'm just kidding.
No. I'm
just playing.
Nah, he probably saved his ass. No, that was pretty much a threat to him. Like,
I think the fans don't.
I think it was more like, you better shut the fuck up and stay quiet. Yeah. There's your answer.
Go to Lucha Underground.
Thank you, sir. You already put it right. Number 1, obviously, just setting this right quickly. It is the Owen Hart. For me, the Owen Hart was a closure to all of us as fans of Owen Hart. We loved his talent. I agree with Jim Ross. I agree with Corny. He didn't need, he got it. Did he introduce acrobats? Maybe in the States, yes. In Canada, yes. I can't say that about Mexico or Japan. No. I don't think he was the first one to introduce it. But for a man of his size, I think he was the first one to introduce that for the man of his size and his weight. And I think he was able to do that. On this accident, I understand why Martha doesn't want to put him in the Hall of Fame. She pretty much brainwashed the kid. That's why she did that for a reason. Like, all right, let's go up there, kids, so you can know how Daddy died. Daddy died from here, and Daddy died from this clip. And that's when they started hating wrestling. Why is the son is a lawyer? Now you got the daughter being a humanitarian. Like, why of that to prevent these type of causes for a reason of it? It's for that.
Do you remember not long ago I said, damn, we might have another fucking Hart be a wrestler because Owen's son, then have you seen him? But after I saw this episode, it's obvious that both his fucking kids and his wife, they hate wrestling. They hate it with a fucking passion.
No, like, and now when in reference to the lawsuit that we were discussing off the air, I just want to make it clear about it. And like I said, once again, I apologize for keeping it this delay. First of all, it did happen, that lawsuit. I researched about that, and it did. Mr. John Pollock, which is he's a reporter of, obviously, in Canada and everybody else, and he's a documentarist. And besides his, I did a lot of research, off that subject and finding out what. So the reason why she got sued, just to get everybody's clarification, excuse me, she got sued of the fact is that based on Owen's contract, that in order to get a lawsuit, you have to get litigation in Connecticut. And remind you, in the state of Connecticut, when I kind of did research, you don't get no compensatory more. What that means is mainly is that you're not going to get more money than what you're getting. Bottom line. So that's why Vince's attorney sued her, because she breached a contract, Owen's contract. Because if you're going to sue WWE, you got to sue in Connecticut. You can't sue in the state of in Missouri, because that's when monetary, which is more compensation money. Well, there you don't win money over there. You just get what you get, and that's it. You settle with it. So now I understand why she decided to fuck off the Hall of Fame, and they both made a good fucking point. Where the fuck's the Hall of Fame at? I want to go see my dad one day. Wait, there isn't a building. There isn't somewhere I could go see them. You get me? Like, there isn't. That, I get that very main point of why he's not there. I get that 100%. I get that 100%. But and then with the whole screw up of what happened of the lawsuit situation, yes, it is true. It's confirmed that obviously the Hart family try to start Stampede over again. They try to be a developmental to Vince. Of course. Like, think about it realistically. Why the Hart family was really against Martha suing. Because the fact is that their name, pretty much their dynasty would have been over. It would have been erased from WWF. They would not be mentioned at all. Nothing, unless giving the permission or the rights to it. And they will get paid, obviously, just chump change. $1,500 a month, everything else, will give shit, whatever. Fuck it. It is what it is. So I'm happy that this Owen story ended the way how it did. He does not have to be in the WWE Hall of Fame. I think as fans, as viewers, as fans who love Owen Hart, should make all of us our own Hall of Fame and give it to Martha Hart and their family. Look, we have him within our hearts as a Hall of Fame. Doesn't have to be WWE, Lutez, or anybody else. It could be as in people that enjoyed his performance, his comedy, everything what he's done in the ring and out as a fan. I think we all should embrace that and show them that, hey, we embrace him. Not besides of his wrestling career, which is mainly, obviously, but also his persona. what he brought into the business, what he introduced. I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one. I'm not saying that he's the one that got me to watch more, but he intrigued a lot of fans to see about this individual. I mean, do you guys disagree on what I'm saying, or?
No, I think you gotta fucking accept the wishes of the family, man. If you want to honor Owen, then donate to the Owen Hart Foundation. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't have no problem with it. I think people should stop bugging them about the Hall of Fame. You know, just honor the family's wishes. If that's what they want, then that's what it should be.
Definitely. Leo, Rob, what do you guys think?
I think we need a disclaimer, and everybody needs to know that I've been kayfabing a lot, and I don't hold these dark beliefs.
But do you feel like?
I started to wonder about it for a second. I started to wonder.
I don't know. I mean, Mike, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, the family gets the final say, and I think they're right. This episode, it brought a lot in light to me because, I've heard about it, and I researched upon it, but for the first time, hearing it from the family themselves, it definitely puts things into perspective. That the Hall of Fame is not the be all end all. There's other ways to honor wrestlers and what they managed to do and stuff. So, definitely the foundation is a great way to make his name move on. So,
all right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you guys so much for watching our top 5, our top 5 picks of this week. As now, join us next week as the next episode 4. We're hoping that our guests as this evening, Mr. Guarames and Mr. McCoy, will join us, but we don't know. We'll see what happens. But next week's top 5 that we'll discuss it on episode 4. Just stay tuned. Right now, we're making it serious. Once again, we're saying buenas noches and good night. Thank you for watching. And obviously, all of us were cheering. And we also want to thank our guests as well. Thank you very much. We'll see you next week. And enjoy.